couple moves over there. Straight through the heart.
That sounds like Bon Jovi.
638 for Academy. We were on 700 to watch. It's not out of the realm of possibility, but would take something incredible.
Justin 9.
Which the way we're going in this match,
Joe an 8.
Wouldn't surprise me. 647, 568. I'm sorry, 576. Fenway's going to go 600 and be down around at least 50. Again, potentially more.
They're capable of doing the same exact thing, too.
Oh, without question. Without question.
Justin, a paltry 122 through 9, you could say.
Waters trying to get into the 40s here. Through the, oh my gosh, what? How did that happen? I don't even know. That was unbelievable.
7-8, 6-10 right. Joe Smith looking to finish strong.
Ball from Joey.
Another split. 4 left, 3, 6, 10 right. You have the splits here too?
Joe has 5. He has 6 head pin hits, 5 splits this game. Waters trying to cut it over. Oh, you got to be kidding me.
Shot. Are you serious?
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
There's no way.
Mike Machici can't believe it. Corey Packard like, what the heck is going on?
Justin Waters, are you kidding me?
This is just crazy. There may be an investigation after this match.
My gosh.
Crazy. Wow.
A 71 pin lead is going to grow here. 132 plus a ball for Justin Waters. Needs 8 to get to 140. 9 puts their lead to 80.
Take that 10 pin.
Clean.
Waters World. 6.
Only 6 and only a 138. Come on, Justin.
172 for Jeremy Seon, 138 for Justin Waters, 131 for Josh Daly. Corey Packard, 122, and Danny Harris, 100 through 8.
We are back in that conversation of 700 if Danny can have a big finish here, but if he just 10s out, he's going to be the low man at 120.
And there's our second banana split.
Call Casey McCool. Oh, but that's set up. Oh, man. That is set up beautifully. Danny can ride the Lightning over.
Brian Kroll. 2-1 split, 3-6 right, 7 left. Harris with Wood to help. Yes!
You're kidding me.
The 700 is a possibility now.
We are in play. Ride the Lightning, big dog. Are you kidding me?
Kroll sails right. And what's he at? 673 right now, right?
673, yeah. So he's going to need a big fill here.
At least 8 or 9 to help. Strike is in the best odds. Kroll, a rare 7. $104 through 9. Danny Harris trying to send his team into the stratosphere even higher.
I think we might have cut out, but we are back. So hopefully viewers are starting to trickle back in. Danny Harris loading up. Wait, what is going on? There's no
tough break.
Look at the 3-pin. The 3-pin is the 5. But I don't totally hate it with the way the wood's set up. If he can go right tip of that wood, should be able to snap into the 6 and carry the 10.
We are recording this match. You can watch its entirety later on. Harris
see if
with
he
a
can
spare.
send it.
Of course
oh my
it goes.
gosh! Wow, Danny, unbelievable.
They can't get the 700 now, I don't think, right?
688. No,
so
a 10 fill.
is the highest they can do.
We'll leave him at a crappy 698. So
Kroll robbed by the wood.
Needed a better fill, but my goodness gracious! Again, we're starting to trickle back in. Apologize, we are at the
mercy of the Wi-Fi.
The mercy, that's the word I wanted. The mercy of the Wi-Fi here. So we're doing our best, but we appreciate you guys. This will be recorded. You can go back and see this incredible string from Academy. I mean, and Fenway. They're well over 600. You can see this back on YouTube probably later tonight, if not tomorrow. But we're going to enjoy it right now.
122 for Ryan Kroll. Harris into the first with 7.
Danny.
132, and they get 695. Wow, wow, wow.
So I mean, I'm gonna try to recap this as best I can because this is something unbelievable. Academy is up 695 to 602, a 93 pin advantage, 7 strikes, 21 spares for Academy. The low man was Corey Packard with a 122. You've got to be kidding me. 122 was the low man. And then for Fenway, even here, Joe Smith, low man, 104. They had 7 strikes, 9 spares. They threw a 602 of their own. And unfortunately, they're still tracing 93 pins. Unbelievable from Academy and Fenway. We still got 2 games to go.
Greg, we are on the play-by-play for the second string. Greg.
So at this point also, we're going to bring Bob Lee, an executive producer at Candlepin Bowling Network. He's going to call side by side with Greg Guillar for Game 2. Paul and I will be back with you for Game 3 as we take you down the stretch in this ICC final. Bob Lee.
Thank you so much, Jordan Britton, and alongside Bob Lee, I'm Greg Guillar, Candlepin Bowling Network, and Candlepin Corner with the world's final middle string.
Hey, Greg, what are we watching here?
Well, that 172 by Jeremy Seaholm, just had to look at the statistics there. The second highest single of the entire tournament on this right side, second to only a 178 by Josh Daly.
Yeah, so Fenway Academy threw a 602, right? Is that what I saw? and yet 695 to 602, is that right?
695 to 602 in that first string.
Okay. Well, 602 is usually good to,
And as Duncan McDougall on our crew as well today had the scoop for us, that is the highest team single across the entire tournament.
Okay, and we have one lineup change. Corey Elise was telling me Smith and Jalbert just swapped.
So a roster change, but no,
just a shakeup.
Substitutions can be made before the halfway point of a string and not on a mark. Chris Merrill.
Yep.
Chris Merrill has a 3 and 2 split. Only the 6 and 10.
Did you have a favorite spare there for Academy and Academy Lanes in that first string?
Well, I mean that water 6, 7, 8, 10.
I was expecting that.
Thanks for baiting me, but I mean that's probably the most clippable moment I can imagine. I mean, sure, Jeremy Seaholm was just an entire highlight reel unto himself with that double strike.
For the second highest single of the tournament.
Exactly.
Is
on this side of the house, and the two sides of the house is played differently. We'll get to that in a second. Second highest was Tim Hazer at 166, and Dave Barber 163.
Here are the number 2 bowlers. I think we're going to see competing for decades. Cole Fry and Josh Daly.
This should be good.
Hey, we had Fry over there on the left side in the semifinals and in the quarterfinals. He threw 6 strikes. He had a double in the second and third string. Threw a 411.
Daly busts up this split. Fry has the 1, 3, 5, 8, 9, 10, and just goes down the middle column. 1, 3, 8, and 9 taken out, 5, 10. Stay put. This annoying piece of wood is rolling slightly out of the way. Thank goodness Daly's a lefty. He has access. Connects. Spare.
Wow.
Starting spare for Daly. Fry backwood not as helpful as he had hoped.
On these lanes in 2021 at the Leda Lanes, we called it the U.S. Invitational because Canada wasn't able to leave because of COVID. Daly made a 7-10 split where he broke a pin and bashed the tip off of it and sent it across the way on these lanes.
Fry box 2. This one gets off target. One we name after Bob Caleri down here in New England. 3, 6, and 7. Fenway back a bunch, but remember, 2 strings still to go. They can pick this lead apart. Fry looking to find the range, Daly. Well, it looks like it's aimed at the 7-pin, but place it on the cap instead. That's not where he wanted to go. Wanted to play that on the 3-6. Fry out for 9.
He's at 17. Daly with 7 in the fill. He's at 26.
So I was mentioning earlier how the two sides of the houses play differently here at Leda Lanes in Nashua, New Hampshire, where we're live with the world's final. And essentially, it was tougher scoring conditions on the other side, lanes 1 through 18.
Much tougher to knock down a pin, frankly. From what I've seen, I didn't spend much time over here with you, Greg. you could hit a pin pretty hard with big flat bottoms. You didn't want them to tip. You know, they were built to stand, not to tip. So you'd hit a nice 4 or 5 mile an hour roll smack in the middle, and it would just stand steady.
4-2 6-pin wilts in front of the 10-pin.
Pins were
not convert.
Pins were picked up new a couple of years ago. And a bunch of them.
Jeremy Seaholm picking up where he left off with a spare.
Yep. 172 in the first. 10 in the ball now in the second. We had the pleasure of covering Jeremy for years. He runs the Approach podcast. The big joke there, Danny Finn talked about how many 700s do you have? Well, Jeremy now can say he has one because last year on the ACST, he pulled it together in one of the most emotional performances I've ever seen. Certainly for the ACST regular season.
The most emotional until now, maybe?
Yeah, for the ACST, I said.
Seaholm lamenting he couldn't be here last year. Academy Lanes made a playoff run up in Moncton, New Brunswick. Fair Lanes Bowling Center, but not to the finals. Fenway did, falling just one ball short.
Hey, good bid, but
I'll say it once, I'll say it a million times. It's not Chris Merrill's fault.
All right, Seaholm, who had one no-mark box.
I mean, sure, you want him to come up clutch there.
Yeah.
It's not all his fault.
He started with a open string in the 172, didn't he, Jeremy?
He started with a 9-box actually.
7 in a row.
Yep.
He ruined his perfect game from box number 1.
Yep.
Hey, Jenny Rose started her 210 string with a 9-box, so anything's possible.
That's right.
The new ladies high single.
And she's getting a ceremonial trophy for that on Tuesday.
2-pin tips over strike. Justin Waters. Bob Lee's taking a gander over at the statistics here.
Yeah, well, he said 148.
Oh hum. Good men's pro average is about in the 120. Though we've seen a lot of the 1-teens here, considering the difficult but fair conditions here at Leda.
Yeah, there were only 5 or 6 bowlers on our side that had 120 averages during the Worlds. So.
Right, the other side of the house, the bowling center, even tougher.
Tim Jalbert.
Just a 7-box, the third ball gets away.
So Jalbert, and you used to see Jimbo Ayat. The two of them have been thick as thieves. They were the best buddies on this team, and in the semifinal, they bowled against each other because Jimbo moved over to Lucky Strike this year, and there was a bit of heartbreak there, and some good challenge. They still have lunch together once a week, don't they?
Invitational tournament, the captains decide who get on the teams. Waters has the 4-7, Tim Jalbert the 1-3-7-9. As Wood looking at the 7-pin, 1-3-7. The action just goes right in front of the 9-pin, nothing goes back there.
So you'll see.
Waters' plank isn't
There it is.
Spins, he plays on the left side and gets it.
So after his 138, he's now at 30 through 2 and a ball in the second.
10-box for Jalbert. This is a combination of standard American vertical scoring notation you see here, where X is 10. That's not totally foreign to Canada, but one triangular smudge for spare, 2 for strike. And then Micah Imperato's yellow head pin and red circle.
Split.
Yep. Yellow circle. Yellow squares are head pins. Red circles are splits. There you go.
Here's Brian Crowell, one of the only bowlers that holds it up near his ear for the set. His pitch is off on the 2-pin.
Yep.
Danny Waters, who had the second best spare.
Say again?
Danny Harris, who had the second best. Danny Waters. That's a cool name too. Who had the second best spare, that banana split. Here it is. little too far left on the head pin.
Spare for Harris.
Did you see him where he picked it up with that little, he had hit that very thin vertical piece and sent it across? Took out the 6-10 with the ball and the 4-7 with the.
My goodness.
That's right. All right, but meanwhile, what we're talking, the lead has grown. You know, it was only 93 before. Now it's 123. Academy Lanes, our 2022 champs, trying to make Fenway Academy runners up again. They've been bridesmaids a couple times.
Split 6-7-10 for Kroll. Two veterans of TV here. Brian Kroll, a Channel 5 star, and Danny Harris on these very lanes here at Leda Lanes, 33 and 34.
Known to a lot of the community because Kroll Bowl in Stowe was run by his father.
But not in Lowell. 6-7-10 with wood. Flat on the red line, and it spins across the edge of the plate. Harris to full. The TV lights are up overhead on 33 and 34. Not turned on for this, but they are turned on for Skins, the all-new Skins on Candlepin Corner. You can check that out on YouTube. That'll be out of the channel.
He shook it. Yep. Shook it off.
So 9-box for Kroll and an 8-box for Harris. No gutter balls allowed, just like in any form of bowling. If you hit a pin in the channel first and then it careens into a pin, that doesn't count.
All right, back to the top of the order. Corey Packard and Chris Merrill. Merrill, of course, in the anchor last year in this match.
You see the stats here, so 33 marks on the Academy side.
That'd be good for a series.
16. 5-pin tips over, just busting up that little bit extra. Chris Merrill a split. Seems like he's had a few. Packard on that 7-pin, head pin. Object pin, excuse me. Hits into the 7. And Corey Packard knocks it down for a spare. 2-6. No good on the third ball. Merrill takes 8.
Match total now favoring Academy Lanes by 128. You see it there in the center of your string as they picked up another 35 in this string after a dominant performance in the first.
Very reminiscent of the second of 2 Academy victories. That was streamed on Alley Chat, the Frank DeLuca channel on YouTube. Alley Chat. And that was just a runaway victory from the very beginning against Lucky Strike, who made a good run this year.
Oh, yeah, Corey!
Interesting.
Coming up short in the semifinal.
Corey turned around when he threw that one. It was a nice full ball. I think maybe he was expecting that to turn into a spread eagle. Yeah.
Looked like a split, we're told.
No. Okay, that pin is out. There's a line 24 inches out in front of the head pin. It's the Deadwood line, and that one's behind it. If any part of that pin were over the line, Brian would have grabbed it. But now Corey has to play with it.
Attaboy, Ralph.
So we're doing a special back-to-school special about Candlepin Bowling called Playing with Wood in the Corner with Corey. He's hit it high.
Look at that reaction. Look at that face. Merrill matches a spare. Packard played it up high on the wood and did not expect that to go that way. Do you think he wanted the cap on that one, perhaps?
Come on, Josh, let's go, buddy.
You got the 4-1-1. Here he comes.
Keep an eye on the open marks there. You see every bowler's previous result. 2 open spares for Packard and Waters. 1 open spare for Chris Merrill. Josh Daly.
Oh, what a mixing ball, buddy.
Welcome to the new generation between these two. Candlepin New Gen, a show sorely missed. We need back because it produces great talent like this. I say the past, present, and future of Candlepin all under one roof.
Cole had the all-time high score among youngsters in that Candlepin Next Generation show. He had a triple strike, as I recall, maybe 4.
And they played that celebration on the intro reel for seasons to come. Probably a bit bewildered by how that shot went. Daly takes 10. That sort of embodies how Fenway is going in the string. They seem a little adrift right now, a bit lost.
Well,
But I mean, taking a look at their averages. Let's see. Fry had a 121 average, Merrill 117, Kroll 117, Joe Smith had 114, and Tim Jalbert a 116 average. Also of note, Dan Allard had a 117 average as well. Taking a look around. I wonder if his talents might be employed at some point. Cluster 5, it goes. Fry's got to spare. Daly does not come up with his, so momentum back to Fenway Academy. They need a lot more of it.
13 or 14 more of those, and they'll be right in it.
Still plenty of time, though. So first they have to overcome the momentum in the string, which is still continuing to go in Academy's favor, 44 pins up.
All right, here's the man. Putting up, frankly, a legendary performance.
Man of the first hour, without a doubt. Jeremy Seaholm, 172.
Long
First
time.
string.
Yeah, long time.
He gets his, well, doing the 3-pin out.
That's a trickier one than Danny Harris threw.
I think Paul Grant is craving ice cream about now. 4 horsemen, 5, 8, and 9.
This could go he buries it heavy on the 6-pin, then he can get that thing so he's going to have to push it. Nope. That was the ball he wanted, but for a 1/4 inch. He longtime general manager at Ryans and Millis. Before that, at Fairway Lanes, Jeremy.
Said home of Channel 5 Candlepin Bowling, whose broadcast was Don Gillis, of which Ryan Rowell was an alumnus.
All right.
9 box aside.
Seaholm's first ball in the 4th. Heavy on the head pin, and well, that may be his first split. Let's see.
3, 6, 7, 8, 10 for Smith. Blanks out front there. Actually, I think they both are. Oh, dear.
Seaholm had a split in the first, and that's 2 now in the second.
That split was nigh impossible for Seaholm. Smith was hoping the plank would stay put. Can he slice it anyway? He's got a whirly bird, but it dies off the back of the plate just before it hit the 8-pin. I think a little more, it might have had the action to get there. Good pinning, that's 9. Blanks are there for Smith. That's an easy 10.
All right.
Boxes 3 and 4 coming up for Jalbert and Waters.
Come on, Justin.
Justin Waters.
Tim Jalbert ended up with a 104 in that first string. Disappointing for him. He is the heart of that team, in the heart of the order, as is Justin Waters.
That's Bob Lee. I'm Greg Guyar. You're watching Candlepin Bowling Network and Candlepin Corner. One or the other, please check us all out. Like the video by hitting the thumbs up button if you're logged in, and subscribe and hit the bell.
Beautiful ball. Jalbert throws a 42-mile-an-hour pitch from the right side. He takes the ball back right to left, and then throws with left to right spin, and does a lot of extra damage that way. Waters, the golf throw,
Picks the 6-pin just.
has a different kind of clockwork in his machine. His is a very straight back. It comes over the ball, just a little bit of right to left action at the end. And his ball barely moves off the spot, even though it still has some side spin. It is a. When he has trouble, it's because he gets splitty.
10 and a 9.
Picks up a pin there, and match is at 143. Hits 2 for Fenway, 1 for Academy.
There's usually the fine details to analyze when you see a match much closer in, but Here it's quite simply several bowlers stealing the show. And I mean,
Waters is one of them.
Justin Waters with that 138 prior.
All right.
3-2 split.
Did I speak that into existence, Craig? Beautiful strike, and the 9 was the last to fall on that one from Tim Jalbert.
Jalbert came up with a chain of strikes in that 2023 run up at Fair Lanes. Waters still fighting to pin out of this one. Couple of planks there to at least get rid of the 4-7.
That was Jalbert's first strike, and he has 2 spares. 2 spares up there.
Enough. That was a lot of rev rate on that wood, but it didn't quite get all the way across.
I think Jalbert is the one who's facing the splits. He has 6 splits prior to that strike. I have a 3 or a 4 to 1, 3.5 to 1. When I throw 3 or 4 splits in a row, or 3 and 4 splits on head pins, so it's time for a strike. 6 is obviously overdue.
7, 8, 9 for Harris. Grohl just cuts out the 6, 9, 10.
Rare ocean ball for Brian. All right, Harris, he's going to try to turn one of these into a propeller.
7-pin cluster. Grohl
That's it, roll.
almost blows it up hard. Wood rolls in front of the 7. Harris takes 9. Grohl 10.
Yep. All right, match is still hanging in the 150 zone, 141 right now.
Just one advantage after another. Academy Lane's last vanquished opponent was A+ Accounting, last year's champions.
Okay.
They put in a lot of promising efforts. And some powerful victories there, but just ran out of steam when it came to the boys in gray. 1, 3, and 7 for Harris. 3-pin goes out.
No mark.
Well, Horseman, just a 2-pin.
So the 2 teams together fell just shy of 1,300, right? In the first string.
Yep.
You know, 695 and 602. Yeah, 1297 between them.
1297, yeah.
I don't think we're going to see that here.
I could have done that. We could have pulled out the calculator. You see the stats here. 16 more spares. There he.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. 13 or 14 more, and Fenway will be right in it.
And if I'm seeing that correctly, is that an average of 132 for the team? Shots with everything. 5-pin. Get over your head. It's wobbling. That wood is behind the 5. Chris Merrill.
So for pro bowlers, 9% of their first pitches turn into strikes.
I believe done a lot of work here with the stats. Not sure how much more time you'll have in the spreadsheet. Merrill spares.
That's based on a study of 2,000 head pins mostly from Channel 5 televised broadcasts from prior to the streaming age.
I think it's polite to say I'm glad you quit your day job.
I retired. I didn't quit. All right, this is tricky. He's got T-square wood there.
And another
He
question
whapped
mark.
it. He whapped it with a propeller. He had to hit. He couldn't just push it back. He had to whap it. Yep.
My petition is to replace the
Whap.
indifferent face emoji on your phone. Just replace it with Corey Packard's reaction to that. Or the previous shot where he made it in the unorthodox way. When he played high on that wood and the ball just went in, one or the other. Again, a very 2022-esque performance for the champions that year in 2018.
Packard, by the way, has 3 spares in a row.
The champion will be American this year after A+ Accounting took it north of the border last. Merrill doesn't get his 178.10 for Packard.
You had A+ over on your side, Greg. Hell of a team. For 4 in a row, Packard clicks out the 1.8.
So yes, we haven't had much chance to cross-reference our experiences here since most of our streams have been on opposite sides here, but they seem like a well-oiled machine. Like there were several times where none of them had fewer than 9 marks. That stopped at the same moment they lost to Academy, pretty much. Now Fenway on the other side, was it the same experience with you? Just putting.
Well, no. Fenway did take. There were some losses. They did fall down a couple times, but the break was great for them. Lucky Strike was putting on a show from felt like from 5 or 6 years ago when they were the dominant squad, and coming in rested off the double bye, Fenway Academy was able to dominate much of it spurred by the 4-1-1, the 4-11 from Cole Fry.
Cole Fry, the second highest average. It was long in last year's was.
All right, Daly now 54 through 5, and Fry at 50 after the 5 fill.
Broadcasting live on Candlepin Bowling Network and Candlepin Corner on YouTube. And check out Candlepin Bowling Network on Facebook for statistics from this year's Worlds.
All right, Daly finds a headpin in a split. On that headpin study, I found that 40% of pro headpins turn into splits.
So that's about right, maybe slightly higher here.